There it goes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Test Pattern. At the time this was recorded, or if you're watching it right now, we've just wrapped up a 24-week session of public access, and we found out we kind of liked each other and wanted to keep playing together. So for the next few weeks, anywhere between 2 and 4, depending on how long this story takes to play out, we'll be playing a little short campaign of John Harper's Lady Blackbird. And to give Mark a little break from that 24-week campaign, I'm Ellie, and I'm going to be sitting in the GM chair herding these cats for the next few weeks. So since this is a new campaign, new video series, new game, I do want to go around and introduce the players and our characters. We're going to do the classic reverse character keeper order, so that means it's our faithful pilot.
Yeah, I'm Billy. I'm going to be playing Snargle in Lady Blackbird, which is my first time playing. I've heard plenty about it. The character keeper, I will say, I don't know who made it, but it looks amazing.
Amazing. And who is Snargle? Tell us in a few words.
He is, and I'm going to take this from the character keeper, a goblin sky sailor and the venerable pilot of the Owl, the sky hauler that we will be floating about in.
Awesome. Next up is the captain of the Owl.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brew. I'm going to be playing Cyrus Vance, captain, as previously mentioned. I also am going to read for the character keeper, an ex-imperial soldier turned smuggler and soldier of fortune, captain of the Owl. Yeah, this is also my first time playing, and I'm excited to have Ellie as our GM.
I'm excited that you all came back to play. And finally, we have not a member of the crew of the Owl, but rather one of the passengers.
Yeah, I'm Mark. Hello, be them. And I'll be playing Naomi Bishop, who is Lady Blackbird's bodyguard, former pit fighter and bodyguard to Lady Blackbird. I've played Lady Blackbird at least once and run it several times. So this is the first time playing Naomi. I'm excited to see what happens.
That is exciting. And as I said, I'm Ellie. I'm going to be the GM for this adventure. And some of you may have noticed that we don't have a player character as Lady Blackbird. Now, normally speaking, this game it's suggested to have Lady Blackbird and Captain Vance both as player characters because the game's kind of about an unrequited love triangle, and they are, feature very prominently in it. However, with only 3 players, I want to give the group flexibility there. So I will also be side playing the role of Lady Blackbird. So she will be perhaps a little more silent than usual sometimes because I'm not going to have scenes with myself, talking to myself. But I'm still very, very excited about it. All right. So this is, though this is our second campaign together, I did ask everyone to go over and do those lines and veils again. So, for viewer benefit and also for fresh in my mind, I'm going to read out real quick what we've got here. We have a veil on body horror, line on homophobia, transphobia, ask first on mind control, lines on racism, sexual assault, and sexual violence, veils on sexual content and suicide, ask first on torture. Generally speaking, this game is fairly PG-13. It's a swashbuckling steampunk adventure with romance. That being said, as an additional little content warning to the audience, slavery will be referenced in this game in some way, shape, or form. One of the characters, Naomi Bishop, was formerly enslaved. So there'll be things, there'll be references coming up. We're going to, the players are going to set the tone there. But if that is something that's aligned for you as a viewer, please be aware that this is going to be referenced in the game. Probably not, super big, but it's there. So, with all that done and dusted, I think it's time to start the game. So, to set the scene, Lady Blackbird is on the run from an arranged marriage to one Count Carlo. She's hired a smuggler skyship, the Owl, to take her from her palace on the Imperial World of Elysium to the far reaches of the Remnants, so that she could be with her once secret lover, Pirate King Uriah Flint. However, just before reaching the halfway point of the free world of Haven, the Owl was pursued and captured by an Imperial cruiser, the Hand of Sorrow. You have been charged with flying a false flag. Lady Blackbird, her bodyguard, Ms. Bishop, and the crew of the Owl have been detained in the brig, while the commander of this cruiser, one Captain Samuel Hollis, runs the smuggler's ship Warranty over the wireless. And as you're waiting in this cell in the brig, it's only a matter of time before Captain Hollis discovers the outstanding warrants on both the ship and her captain, and learn that the Owl is owned by none other than the infamous outcast, Captain Cyrus Vance. So here you all are in the brig of the Hand of Sorrow. It's not nice. It is a brig, but being an Imperial cruiser, it's nicer than some other brigs some of you might have been in. Along with Snargle, the captain, and Naomi Bishop, you also have Seed with, kind of sitting against one wall of the cell, a skinny young man with a very messy thatch of black hair. You know him, Cale Arkham. He's the ship's mechanic. And sitting in fairly close proximity to Naomi Bishop is your passenger. Well, your employer, really, the woman who's hired the Owl for this voyage. One Josephine Moreau. She's got her cloak up as usual, hood up, but again, a striking woman with long black hair, violet eyes, and just overall an air of, shall we say, quiet dignity. And she is seated there on the ground as well. Now, you have a few minutes here as the guards sit around and wait for Captain Hollis to return with news. So, question for Captain Vance. Whose flag were you flying under when you got captured with the charge of flying under a false flag?
I'd say that we were flying a friendly, like maybe someone that's friendly to the Imperials.
Or
But maybe the mistake was like they don't come out this far.
Classic. So close yet so far. Snargle, whose fault is it that you were captured for flying a false flag?
Well, I wouldn't say it to the captain, but it's definitely the captain's fault. Being physically captured, I would never take the blame for.
You'd never take the blame for, but it was definitely the captain's fault.
If we're talking like why we're raising the flag, yeah, it was definitely the captain's fault. If I was given the order, I probably could have outrun everybody.
Hmm. All right. And Naomi, how do you feel about being captured at all? How did they manage to take you down?
Yeah, Naomi is not happy about this at all, and was ready to fight off the Imperials when they brought us in. But my Lady Blackbird was just like, let's be cool and let the people we've hired sort this out because it's their deal. So
Right. So after a surprisingly short time, kind of pondering all these, keeping all these thoughts to your respective selves, the captain enters the brig. Samuel Hollis is a tall man, broad-shouldered, very imposing. He's got his brown salt and pepper hair shortly trimmed in a military style, perfectly groomed goatee, royal blue uniform of the Imperial Marines. However, the right arm of his uniform only extends to shortly above his elbow from his forearm down to the remainder of his arm and hand. His arm is made of ornately engraved clockwork that is oddly completely silent, except when he kind of rolls his fingers a little as a gesture, and you hear a bit of a click, click, click. And he walks up to about a foot away from the bars of the cell, so quite close, and looks Captain Vance in the eye and just goes, I can't believe it. Cyrus Vance, with your reputation, I thought you'd be smart enough to avoid such a simple capture, and I thought you'd be taller.
Okay, out of character question.
Yeah.
How do I make rolls? Like if I want to use my trait in Survivor and then Intimidate, what do I do for that?
Oh, well,
Like, how does
so,
that work?
Oh, so first of all, set the scene for what it is you want to do here. Take the action, declare the action, and then we'll set the roll for it.
Cool.
So that's the first part. What do you want to say to him? Are you trying to intimidate him physically, verbally? What tactic are you taking?
Yeah, I think that Captain Vance is gonna like make the steps up to like meet him at the bars. And what was his name? Hollis?
Captain Hollis.
Captain
Yeah.
Hollis. I think he's going to like look him straight in the eye and be like, oh, Captain, Hollis, I also thought that you would be different, try to meet him on his level.
Okay, so to me that sounds less like trying to intimidate and more like trying to show that you're not afraid. Okay, so the way rolls work in this game, this is a d6 dice pool game. By default, you roll 1d6 just for trying. You add more dice, depending on being able to, what traits are applicable to this roll. Anything you see on your character sheet that is in a square bracket is something that is available to you on future advancements, but has not been unlocked yet. So for example, if you if you're rolling this and you want to do something, you know, to say that you're tough from the survivor trait, you add another d6 for that, and any other you can justify. On top of that, you can also add a d6 from your dice pool, which default currently everyone has 76 in their dice pool. Those are used up if the roll is successful. They can and will be refreshed later on. And the way success works is I will set the difficulty for this task, and you need to roll 4 or higher on each d6 to get a success. So if you roll 4, so if the difficulty is 2, you roll 3d6, you have a 2, a 5, and a 6. That's 2 successes. The difficulty was 2. You're good to go. If you fail the roll, that's where things get fun. Though this does not have the same baked in tiered systems of success, you know, tiered levels of success like public access does, or other similar games, but it'll still be fun. So that was a whole lot of info dump. So which traits would you like to use to show Captain Hollis that you're not afraid of him?
I guess tough under survivor, and can't think of any others. I don't think that would count for intimidate after all.
You could
you pick
creepily stare at him while you say that.
Yeah,
Creepily
pick
stare.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, pick one trait and then the any number of tags underneath that one trait.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, do the trait first. That's easier to kind of dial in.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll go with, I guess, tough, and then yeah, I'll use creepy stare.
Tough and creepy stare, and
Also using survival. Yeah,
I'll
cool.
say an intimidate is a fair tag here as well, based on the consequences. Also, this is going to be a challenging task, so the difficulty is 4, because Captain Vance, you know, you're not holding any of the cards here.
So I have 3 right now, so I can use like some from my dice pool and add those to them, or how does that work?
Okay, so if you're using the survivor trait plus the tough, creepy stare, and intimidate tags, that's 4d6. And then you can add as many as you want from your dice pool, up to however many you currently have in your pool, which again is 7. If you fail the roll, the dice from your pool will not be used up. They'll go back in. If you succeed, they'll be used up.
Okay.
You're starting at 5 dice, right? 1 for the thing, 1 for survivor, and then tough, creepy stare and intimidate. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. Thank you
Cool.
for
Yes, your math is
Yeah.
better.
It's been a while. I'm like, oh, how's it working again?
Cool.
I've
So
played
I'll
this game, but I haven't run it before.
cool. So I'll add 1 from my pool to make that 6.
All right. So yeah, that is 66, difficulty 4. Go ahead and roll them.
All right.
Ooh.
No.
All right. We have 2 successes. So again, the good news is your pool dice are not used up. You get to hang on to those.
And you get a bonus one, I think, when you fail, right?
Let me double check on that.
Double check.
No, that is
Yeah, if you don't pass, you get to keep the pool dice you rolled and add another
Awesome.
die to your pool.
Yeah.
there you go. Now the downside is, oh boy. Hollis just looks at you incredulously, Captain Vance, and says, I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but really? Look, oh boy, I don't think you appreciate the nature of your situation here, Cyrus. For one thing, you've been charged with flying a false flag. That's, let's be honest, everyone here in this part of the blue does that. That's only, maybe 20 years hard labor. However, we've also taken the liberty of searching your ship, for standard procedure. Seems you've been transporting some illegal goods. Oh, that's gonna be another 20, 25 years. And on top of that, wow, you just don't know when to quit. The good news is you won't have to serve that sentence, because as in a few moments here, we're gonna have a little try, let's see, as is my right as the captain, in which you will be tried, found guilty, and hanged for kidnapping. Oh, Cyrus.
And this is where Naomi like exchanges looks with Lady Blackbird, and it's like, do we want to?
She just gives a look back, slightly wide-eyed, but waits for Captain Vance to see where this exchange is going.
I'm sorry, did you say kidnapping?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, her parents are, as I'm sure you can understand, absolutely beside themselves. It's not every day that a frankly two-bit smuggler such as yourself swoops in and decides to remove the heir to a noble house from her home and family.
And I think that Captain Vance is gonna like look back at like the two women on board and is like, no, these
Wait,
are just passengers of mine. I didn't kidnap anyone. Those are false charges.
This day just keeps getting better. You didn't know?
Yeah, so real
Wow.
confused face.
Right. We'll get this sorted out by lunchtime. I am gonna have a real nice drink afterwards, a real nice reward, and well, nice knowing you, Cyrus. I'll see you in 10 minutes here. And off he goes.
Cool. So Cyrus is gonna turn to the other people in the cell and like whisper and be like, okay, this is probably the best thing that they're gonna take me out to be hung, because I'll be out of the cell and we can do something about this.
If you want to get out of the
Yes, but-
cell, we can get out of the cell.
I mean,
Yeah, I sure
do
would
you
love
have
to
ideas?
look around to see if there's anything I could fashion to escape.
Certainly do that, but a quick question for Snargle first. Did you know that your passenger Josephine Moreau here is actually Natasha Siri, aka Lady Blackbird?
I don't think so. I don't think I knew. I might have pinned like the blame on the captain in my head earlier, but I'm still like completely loyal to Cyrus Vance as it is. So I don't. If I would have known, I would have told her.
Right on. So,
Yeah, and Naomi knows that Lady Blackbird is not interested in going home and will help with whatever needs to help with to keep that from happening.
all right. So Captain Vance is looking forward to, sounds like, formulating a plan to take an opportunity when he is taken to be hung. It sounds like Snargle wants to look around. It's a ship's brig. All you've gotten there is some dirt on the floor. There's a little rat running around. You've got, your friend Kale, who keeps the engines running. You've got your potentially very troublemaking passenger, and you've got two guards who are just, waiting in the room playing cards.
Are they just hanging out in the room with us?
They're
Like,
not
can we
they're
get to
not
them?
in the cell.
So there's like a separate cell with the bars and stuff.
No, it's picture a room, kind of like an old-timey sheriff office,
Mhm.
where you've got the room, with a desk, table and chairs or whatever, and then there's a cage, there's a jail cell.
Yep.
They're at the desk playing cards.
Are the guards I assume the guards are armed. What are the guards armed with?
They are each armed with a club, like sailors typically have, and they each have a revolver as well.
Yeah, Naomi's not going to do anything without Lady Blackbird's say so, but yeah,
Um,
also following the lead of Captain Vance.
I think so. It's just us and the guards, huh?
It's just you and the guards.
I think that what would Snargle want? So my aim with what I'm about to describe is that one of the guards kind of comes in to, because I want Snargle to kind of very loudly start like choking and gagging and writhing on the floor and stuff like that. As much as best as I can sell it, I want one of them to come in here and check on us so we can basically jump them.
All right, I like it. Are you going to tell the others that this is your plan? Or
Yes,
you just...
I would kind of like do the look towards the captain. We've totally done this bit before, 100%. I know my role. So the women, the other two women, the passengers, they might not know what's about to go down, but I'm sure they could catch on.
Yeah, Naomi might have seen something similar once or twice.
And Lady Blackbird just goes, "Oh boy." Just looks at Captain Vance and says, "I'll explain everything once we're out of here."
And I think Vance just does like a curt nod.
All right, all right, Snargle. Don't actually accidentally choke on anything while you're yeah.
I think that yeah, this will be fine. This is gonna work.
All right, which trait and tags are you going to use?
I think I'm going to use Sly as the trait. I'm going to use Sneaky, Distractions, and Bluff.
All right.
If those seem appropriate.
Seems appropriate to me. Describe to me how you're going to sell choking when there's not a whole lot lying around to choke on.
Well, you did specifically mention a rat running around, so he will grab it and like start chewing it.
Okay.
I've done worse to get out of stuff like this.
All right. I'm going to say this is going to be fairly simple. Let's call this a difficulty 2 because the guards aren't that bright, and also the last thing they want is a complication that gets in the way of their captain meting out justice his way. So difficulty 2, you are rolling a total of 5d6.
5d6. Okay. And I need 2 4s, 2 4 pluses, basically.
Exactly.
I'm still going to use one for my dice pool because it's me rolling dice.
I understand.
So 6d6, I think that is.
6d6. Roll them up.
1, 2, 3 successes.
It was a good call to take take that 6. You know yourself. All right. So describe to me what this looks like, and the others describe to me how you're reacting to help sell it.
Yeah, so I think that he gives Captain Vance a look and then goes like diving on the floor for this rat, right? Because I imagine like 2 benches and like an empty middle space.
Sure.
So he kind of dives to the middle and just he's not happy about it, but he takes a bite out of this rat and then just completely starts like overselling it. And then he like gets up and then falls back down and he starts like clawing towards the gate.
Oh my God. Guards, what is happening to him? Captain Vance, help me. That's Lady Blackbird shrieking to help sell it.
Yeah, I think that the captain's gonna like be like, oh, like stay out of the way. Like this man is in a medical emergency. And also like maybe lightly brushes against Lady Blackbird's arm. And it's like,
Oh, and yeah, the guards one of them pushes his chair back real quick. The other stands up as well, but only both start advancing towards the cell, kind of fumbling for the keys. That shit, just why does this always happen? Right? Fumbling at the keys, they're fumbling a little bit in the lock. If anyone wants to try to attack them in some way, grab for the guy's hand before he unlocks the cell, you're welcome to. This is an opening. Otherwise,
I'll let him get inside.
Yeah.
And like again, like check in with Cyrus.
yeah.
Like, we're trying. Okay, yeah, we're doing the thing. Right. Good.
Yeah. So the one fumbling with the keys swings the door open as the second guard behind him is berating him for being an idiot. And are you going to let them walk in, or are you just going to jump?
If they let them get to me, like be face down, like coughing into the ground, and like the second they're over me, he's going to basically turn with his hands up, getting ready to jump whichever one is right over the top of him if they get that far.
I will take the other one.
All right. So yeah, one of the guards comes right in to kneel down beside Snargle. The other one, is shouting and gesturing at you with his pistol to, all right, keep back against that other wall. So what now?
Yeah, I'm going to jump the one that kneels down for me, and I'm assuming it will draw attention towards me from the other one as well.
Oh yes, it will. Does anyone want to take a simultaneous action?
As soon as the other one turns their attention to Snargle, I will jump that second one with great prejudice.
All right. Snargle. That is going to be another another roll to attack? Are you trying to kill him or just overpower him?
I don't think I don't want him to suffer. So I am going to try to knock him out in some way. After he is disarmed, though, I will take extreme measures to disarm him, but I don't want to like gut him or anything like that.
You want to disarm him before knocking him out? That is
Yeah,
going to
pretty
increase
much.
the difficulty. Okay. But you also do have the jump on him, so I'm going to set this at a difficulty 3 for Snargle. And then you can.
I feel like I'm using some goblin traits here. So I'm gonna use goblin, agile, quick, and teeth and claws.
Great. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So then you're at 5d6 for difficulty 3.
Yeah. So
And
I
again-
get a die for the trait goblin, right? And then the sub traits. Is that how it works? Am I like understanding correctly?
Yeah. So
Okay.
the traits: pilot,
So
sky sailor, goblin, sly. That's the category you start with.
Oh, 5.
The words on the right are the tags, is how they're termed. So you
Okay.
choose a trait, then you add tags from that trait to build your roll.
Perfect. So yeah, perfect. 5. Okay. And what would you say it was a 3 difficulty here?
Difficulty 3.
I'm gonna add 3 dice for my dice pool.
All right. You can go ahead and roll, but I'm going to hold off adjudicating / playing this out until Naomi builds her roll.
Mhm.
Okay, that's perfect. So if I did my math correctly, I should have 8d6 I'm rolling right now.
All right. And there you will see, as Mark pointed out for me before the game, in your character keeper, you can track your dice pool if you're not doing it with a physical token. So be sure to do
Yeah.
that.
Yep, I'm down to 3, and I only got 2 successes.
Oof.
All right, Naomi, what's the scoop?
So what's the does the other one is the other one drawn to the scuffle or whatever happens, or is he still got the gun on us?
This is a split second thing. You had one person focused on Stargle, one person focused on the rest of you. As soon as he hears the scuffle, turn his head quickly, but I'm assuming you're not leaving him time to do anything more than that. So yeah, this is very much a action scene all happening at once.
Yeah. So the second he turns his head, she just goes in with like a double fist hammer, and she is intending to kill him with her secret of destruction,
Right.
breaking things with my bare hands as if I was
yeah.
swinging a sledgehammer at his head.
Because of the distraction and because of Naomi's experience with this kind of fighting, I'm going to say this is a real simple. This is a difficulty 2.
Ooh, all right. So I think I'm gonna have one pit fighter, definitely using that. Combat tested brutal because I'm gonna be killing him. Living weapon, fast and hard. That's
All
I don't
right.
think that's a lot. I'm good at one
We'll-
thing, and
We always hope that will be enough for the roll to succeed, but we never know, do we?
5, 6, 7. That is 3 successes.
Oh, all right. That's okay.
Oh, 4 successes. 4 successes.
All right. And all right. We're gonna do some GMPC little jump ins here along with the escalation. So as Snargle jumps up in this guard, into the guard's face, claws out, teeth bared, ready to get at him. He stumbles back in surprise, just falls on his butt, carrying himself out of the reach of Snargle's momentum, and he lets out a yell as he does so. As the one with his gun on Naomi, Lady Blackbird, and Kale turns his head, as soon as his head turns, he immediately crumples to the ground with blood streaming from a dent over the side of his opposite ear. And the one who is now on the ground, points his cocked pistol directly at Snargle, and the trigger is just about pulled when a bolt of lightning flies out of Lady Blackbird's fingers and into this man's back, and he gives a little surprised jerk forward and then just falls backward rigid like he's had an electrical shock. I would in some situations be ruling for that, but because the success was close and it was mixed, we're just going to say it happened. So
I'm going to tap my key of vengeance, because that definitely murdering an Imperial does that.
yeah, and that brings us into talking about your keys now that we've had a partial scene. You'll see, down beneath your traits, a list of keys that you can mark. This is very similar to what y'all did in public access with marking your Dawn questions, except that there's no time frame on these unless you do key buy-offs, which is a whole other thing. But just every time you do something in a scene that speaks to one of your keys, which are role-playing cues, motivations, etc., check that box and you're going to get XP for it. So
I have a question.
yes, please.
Do you think me writhing around on the floor and choking is or was cool? Because it was definitely risky or reckless.
You're asking if Lady Blackbird thinks it was cool?
I'm saying, does anybody think it's cool? I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I think Lady Blackbird is definitely impressed with your quick thinking, and also the fact that you were willing to do something as gross as eat a random rat in order to do what needed to be done. She definitely, after this lightning fizzles out from her fingertips, just gives Snargle a little nod and says, "You get the job done, huh?"
Yeah, he kind of dusts himself off a little bit and wipes the rat blood from his mouth. And he gives her like the equivalent of like a tip of the top hat kind of thing, like a little curtsy.
All right. So this is a good time, Snargle. Do you think you hit any of your keys in that encounter in this first scene?
I think that I hit the key of the Daredevil. Yeah, I was not piloting, but I did do something risky or reckless.
Yep. So go ahead and check that box. Captain Vance, did you hit any keys?
Do you think Key of the Outcast would count for my interaction with the other captain?
It did cause you trouble in this scene, so absolutely go ahead and hit that key.
Awesome.
All right. And yeah. Keys translate to experience. Actually, I'm sorry, do not check the box. I'm still getting used to the character keeper. Add it to your XP track at the top next to the character portrait and under your dice pool. Every key you hit equals 1 experience.
You can take an XP, or if you need more dice in your dice pool, you can get a die in your pool as well.
Oh, I
You can
see.
choose.
When you hit a key, you can.
Yeah, XP is almost always what I take.
Yeah.
Right. So that okay, you've had a scuffle, you have two Marines down, you have an open door, and you're on a clock. If no one's heard you yet, there's still someone coming in about 7 minutes, which is how long you have to escape the Hand of Sorrow.
I think I grab one of the pistols off the guards and toss it to Lady Blackbird.
Yeah,
She
Vance is
catches
gonna
it
take the
easily.
other one.
All right. So it's time to make your escape. Question for everyone. What is something you noticed about the Hand of Sorrow as you were led from the owl down to the brig that might help you with this escape?
I think building off what you said at the beginning, I think it's a lot kind of like dirtier and like less well maintained than you would expect Imperial ship to be.
All right.
They probably don't
Hmm.
get as much support as they would like.
So what did you say? What is something about the Hand of Sorrow that makes our escape easier?
Yep, the Hand of Sorrow is the ship you are currently on.
Okay. I'm happy to come up with something else, but it under the conditions for the owl, it says we need fuel.
You do need
So it would be like something that would make our escape easier is if there was some fuel laying around that I could pick up and carry with us.
so you noticed you passed by
Like some kind of equipment closet or something like that.
the equipment closet. All right.
Yeah, like I don't know if it's got like some jugs of fuel that I could scoop up, or that would certainly make it easier
What did
for
they
us.
do with the owl when they captured us?
It is docked to the Hand of Sorrow, like, Death Star having, picking up the Millennium Falcon style.
Hmm.
So it is currently physically attached to the Hand of Sorrow via not an airlock, but a similarly shaped docking mechanism.
Cool.
Well, actually, I guess an airlock, because you are in outer space right now. It's an airlock. So.
I guess I'll say that maybe it's like a holiday or something. So it's a lot of people are not on the ship. Like we didn't pass a lot of people.
Well, the ship has a lot less crew than you'd expect.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So it's not as well maintained as you would expect, not as well crewed as you would expect, and Snargle has an idea of where the fuel storage is. So, what's next?
What do you think, Captain?
All right, so I'm guessing we have about a few minutes before they come back for me. So, you said you knew where some fuel was on the way in. We can make a run for that, and then I am familiar with the way Imperial warships are laid out, so I would probably know where is most likely that the owl would be, I guess.
All right. Yeah.
You don't think that they refueled our ship for us or anything, did you? That gets me a key.
Lady Blackbird just shakes her head and says, "You haven't spent much time in the Imperium, have you?"
I try to avoid Imperium ships as much as possible these days, though clearly it doesn't work out that well.
Well, we have that much in common at least. Well, you two stand around talking all you want. Naomi, I think it's time to move.
All right, let's get out of here. Try the door first. Is it locked?
What, the door leading from the brig to the next hallway?
Yeah.
No, it's not locked.
Cool.
You yeah,
Less smashing, more opening.
yeah, you find yourself looking into a standard ship corridor, some some doors on each side, but you can make a clean break down this hallway. So is that the plan here? Just kind of keep moving?
Yeah.
All
Yep,
right.
right behind the captain.
Yep. I'd like
I'm right in front of the lady.
everyone, I'm going to make the equivalent of a group roll here to tell me, to decide how easy or simple reaching the owl with the fuel in hand was. So this is going to be, let's make this a difficulty 4. I just want, everyone can use 1d6 and one trait for this. And I will say we can add who's leading the way?
Captain Vance is.
All right. So Captain Vance, go ahead and add a tag as well. So Snargle and Naomi, I want you all to roll 1d6, Vance roll 2, and anyone can add dice from their pool.
And we're all kind of like rolling together.
Yeah, like I'm going to build this as one roll to emulate a group roll. So
Cool.
so we've got baseline 4 dice right now, successes 4. Does anyone want to add pool die?
I'll add a pool die.
I'll add 2.
That's 5, 6, 7, 8. Snargle, did you want to add any?
I've been spending them like crazy. So, okay, let me ask this. If I add all 3 of my dice from my pool right now to this roll, can I still use Secret of the Lucky Break on it and keep those 3 if we succeed?
Let me double check the wording on that. I cannot say no that off the top of my head. Let's take a look here. You can if you want to. Keep in mind this is once per session, and if this is the time you want to do it, you can. However, I will say as a little out of character thing here. Once you escape the Hand of Sorrow, you will have an opportunity to refresh all your pool dice. So it just depends how lucky or not lucky you're feeling right now.
That's my secret. I never feel lucky.
All right. So what do we got?
I'll add 1. I'll add 1
All
to
right.
it.
So that's a total of 96. Difficulty 4. Who wants to roll it?
I'll roll it.
I'll let the captain roll.
All right, Captain. Make it happen, Captain.
All right, 96, you said?
96. We
Uh,
have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes. That
Nice.
is,
what's-
that's a success with a little bit of a bonus. Like I said, there's no dedicated tiers of success in this game, but I like to play with them. So you make a clean break to the owl. Okay, you run into a few Marines here and there down the hallway. One tries to prevent Snargle from getting away with the fuel. It does not go well for him. and you reach the owl unscathed. So time to power up the ship, get undocked, and get out of the Hand of Sorrow. Is there anything anyone wants to do before leaving the Hand of Sorrow?
If there's anything to smash that would prevent them from chasing us or slow them down, I'll keep an eye out for that as we're escaping.
There's a bunch of things you can do in that regard, trying to closing doors and trying to break the locking mechanism. How thorough do you want this to be? Is it just like the last door between the dock and the ship, or?
Oh, I was thinking about like if there's like if we're going by like a control room, or like if there's a big spinning drive shaft, or if we wanted to blow up some of the fuel on the way out. Like
Okay, so I mean, I will say this: while there are less crew maybe than would normally be on an Imperial cruiser, there's still a solid like 80 crew on board. It's not empty. And if you want to start going into leaving those kinds of parting gifts, that is an extra detour.
yeah, this is if there's the opportunity arising, I'm not going to go looking special. My first priority is getting Lady to the ship.
I mean, if you can sell me on how you're going to sabotage the ship from the airlock. If you can sell me on that, sell me on that. Otherwise, you have rolled well enough for a clean getaway.
Yeah, I'm happy just get her on the ship unless something is right there to smash. Because I'm good at smashing.
All right. The owl is waiting for you. Kale just makes a break for the engine room, lugging one of the fuel canisters and yelling at Snargle, "Get us in the air, dude!"
Yeah.
I hope it's still in one piece. I hope it's still in one piece. What did they do to my ship? You hear a yelling, and followed by some clanking in. It's fine. It's fine. We're good to go.
Yeah. I think Snargle immediately runs to like the pilot seat and plops down, and he kind of like caresses the steering shaft a little bit, and he's like, "Oh, you're all right, aren't you?" And then he'll kick it on and zoom the hell out of here.
Right. And with that, this small, funny looking little cargo ship detaches from the cruiser and just flies off into the ether before winking out of existence in the distance, as you start jumping to some temporary safety. Anyways, it's been about an hour now, so we're going to take a little 5-minute break, and when we come back, you'll have time to do some little refreshment scenes to get that dice pool back, get to know each other a little bit, sort anything out there, and then see where you're headed next. So we'll be back in 5.
I think you might be muted.
We are unmuted. We are back. So to recap that first hour, the crew of the Owl, under the command of Captain Cyrus Vance, found themselves in the brig of the Imperial cruiser, the Hand of Sorrow, where they had been arrested and detained on a rookie mistake, really, flying a false flag and choosing the wrong one. The commander of the cruiser, Captain Hollis, saw through the ruse immediately, and while he was running the Owl's registry, did a little check on the passengers as well, and revealed to informed Captain Vance, who had previously been unaware, that his passenger Josephine Moreau was in fact the Lady Blackbird, Natasha Siri, scion of House Blackbird. So Captain Vance was to be hung for kidnapping. This did not sit well with him or the rest of the crew or their passengers. Snargle provided a wonderful ruse for helping get the jump on escaping their cell early by choking on a rat. And Captain Vance and crew and passengers made a swift and very efficient escape from the Hand of Sorrow. They are now just kind of hanging out in this universe's equivalent of hyperspace, just in a nice little safe pocket of not in danger, but not really anywhere either. And they'll have a moment to regroup and refresh and mechanically refresh and regain their dice pools. But before that, they've got some decisions to make about what to do next. Captain Vance, although Lady Blackbird did not divulge her true identity when she hired you to transport her, she did tell you that she was searching for Captain Uriah Flint. Uriah Flint, being a notorious pirate, calls himself one of the kings of the pirates, if not the king of the pirates. And well, she is still hiring you to find him. So first of all, question for Naomi. How do you feel about Uriah Flint?
I think she's too good for him.
How long
Get
have
it?
How long have you and Lady Blackbird known each other?
I think. Let's see. I think she actually was the one who got me out of the fighting pits. I'm sure that's another story in itself, but it's probably been quite some time.
All right. So as the owl is kind of comfortably cruising along, Kale down in the assorted engine and mechanical rooms, wandering around making repairs, Lady Blackbird has summoned everyone else, asked them to please come sit down around the little table that you all normally eat at. There's no formal map room on the Owl. It's too small for that. But nevertheless, unrolls a map of the Wild Blue, this expansive space that you're traveling in, and looks up around the table and says, I fear the timeline for finding Captain Flint has been accelerated now that we've got unwanted attention.
Out of character question, where are we now? Like looking at this little wild blue map.
Uh, Looking at this little wild blue map, let me pull it up here. You are roughly halfway between Elysium and Haven.
Hmm.
So, so looking over the map, making this remark about time, we're now on a time crunch that we weren't before. She starts drawing a line with her finger, pointing things out. The last known sightings of him that I had were, well, surely, Captain, you know how it is. There's never any certainty with these kinds of brigands. I've been led to believe that he's gone to, he has been seen at Nightport. I've also heard that he's been seen on Haven, and I couldn't tell you which he's been seen on before the other.
Captain Vance is gonna look at the rest of the crew and be like, well, I suppose we'll set sail for Haven, and the nicer of the two planets? Are they planets?
They're planets, yes. Kind of for a little bit of background there. Haven is a reasonably nice place. Anyways, it's much nicer than Niceport. Niceport? Wow, I'm bad with
I
words.
wish it was Niceport.
I wish it was Niceport. No, Haven is a relatively stable planet, comprised of a lot of different city hubs and a loose federation of different factions and family clans that all tentatively have a moderately stable peace, thanks to the trade union coming in and trying to broker and mediate and be a go-between. Nightport, on the other hand, is basically Mos Eisley. So while Haven has a lot of trade, a lot of commerce, a lot of politics under the hood, Nightport is a known den of scum and villainy. I'm not saying this to push you one way or the other, because I'm fully prepared for you to go to either. It's just background.
Perfect. Yeah, so I think I'll pose the question to the rest of the crew and passengers. Does Haven sound like the place to go? I guess addressing Kale, do we need supplies for repairs?
Oh, do we ever? Oh my God. Look, you, yes, we do, but we got one little problem, Cap. Parts cost money. Captain Jackass back there on the Hand of Sorrow emptied out our cargo hold.
Did he get to the secret cargo holds?
Give me I'm I'm gonna roll to find out on behalf of the Marines. This is going to be and this is going to be a difficulty 3. I'll just say that, you know what, I'll just do an odds and evens, frankly. That's easier. Yep. I so badly want to incorporate little subsystems into this game. But anyways, that's a 3. That is an odds. Unfortunately, that does mean that they found what was in the secret compartment anyways.
I'm gonna, I guess, like just like illegal stuff. I don't know, like weapons that are not for the average people,
So
stuff like that.
he cleaned us out, Cap. Like, I mean, I can get us to a planet, you know. I can get us to either one of these. Come on, it's me. I'll keep the all flying. But once we get there, we're definitely going to need to get some more parts, especially if we wind up going into the remnant. Out of character, you all know, especially Captain Vance knows, that the remnant is a very dangerous outer expanse of space that is by reputation populated by by pirates and those seeking to set up a base. Very few people who are not pirates or directly involved with them have ever returned from the remnant, and it's also a place that a lot of pirates themselves and would-be ne'er-do-wells have trouble finding or surviving passage into, because it's a ship graveyard full of debris. It's hard to navigate. It doesn't have a clear star map, though there are maps that will get you safely through. If anyone's familiar with the media touchstones, it's basically a cross between the Omega-4 relay from Mass Effect and Grand Line from One Piece. It's hard to find and it's hard to navigate through. So that's just a little background of where things might end up. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, Kale assures you that he can get the ship to wherever your next port of call is, but we're gonna need to figure something out one way or the other to get much further than our next port of call.
I mean, if you want to pick up some honest work, Haven is the place to do it, but I don't get the feeling that that is what you generally do. Is that right?
Yeah, I guess we'll chart a course for Nightport and see what we can figure out there.
Oh, well, at the very least, that will be exciting, won't it? I hear it's quite quite a colorful place. Lady Blackbird grins. She seems a little too excited at the prospect of going to a hive of scum and villainy. Snargle, what's your favorite thing about going to Nightport?
All the booze.
All the booze.
All the booze I can get my hands on.
Okay. All right.
I don't fly drunk though. Never have.
It's good to know. Captain Vance, who have you double crossed in Nightport? Who's got a grudge? It could be a rival captain, a business deal gone wrong, love, or whatever.
I'm gonna say that in his younger years, after leaving the Imperial Navy, took refuge there and did not pay for a lot of things at first and just sort of like dine and dash. So I think there's very few restaurants that let them sit at the table.
Amazing. I love it. And Naomi, what makes you most afraid for Lady Blackbird's safety in Nightport?
I'm afraid that her curiosity will get the better of her, and she will not be. She will seek out some sort of trouble that I'll have to
Excellent.
intervene in. I'm sure she can handle herself, but I think if she wants to travel incognito, that's probably not in her nature.
Yeah. Lady Blackbird, just kind of claps her hands together, goes to roll the map back up, and says, "Well, sounds like we're off to Nightport then. How thrilling!" And you can tell that she's genuinely thrilled again, a little bit too thrilled. And unless there are more exchanges to be had here in the map room, we're going to move on to refreshment scenes. All right. So refreshment scenes, again, very similar to what you're all used to from the nostalgic scenes in public access, except that there's no stipulations regarding what you need to discuss in a refreshment scene. There's nothing that you need to include specifically. It's whatever you want to talk about for asking questions of another character, for revealing things to another character, and so on and so forth. And because there are only 3 players, and because Lady Blackbird is a GM PC, the door is open there to do refreshment scenes with NPCs as well, so Lady Blackbird or Kale. And once you have completed refreshment scene, both participants will refresh their dice pools. If you had conditions, this would be a time you could remove them. If you used a secret, this could also be a time to regain the use of your secret, though again, that is not a blanket guarantee. That is dependent on the details of the scene. So that is a little bit more baked into the text, stricter than public access, though you guys were doing it already, making your scene irrelevant to the condition you were removing. So yeah, would anyone like to refresh themselves?
I think Naomi will pop up into the cockpit and see what Snargle is up to.
Yeah, you see him you see him like when you walk in, he's kind of, like a king on a throne almost. Like, got the legs spread, the one arm draped back over the thing, one hand on the yoke, I suppose. He's like, "Oh," and then he sits up. Hello, Miss Bishop. How are you?
Great. I just wanted to say that was a nice little trick you pulled there back on the hinge. Usually it took 2 of us to start a fight, but you're able to start a fight all by yourself. So well done.
Oh, well, thank you. You know what? I'm glad it was only a rat I had to stick in my mouth for this one.
I don't think I want to hear the rest of that story.
Oh, well, if you ever do, you could, I'm happy to tell it. Anyway, how are you and I guess the lady faring here aboard the Owl?
Oh, she's loving it. I'm just doing my best to keep myself between her and whatever she tries to get into.
Yeah, something tells me that's going to be a little difficult on what is it, Nighthaven? Nightport?
Port, yeah.
I just mixed them both in my head, I guess.
Yep.
Something tells me that's going to be a little difficult on Nightport.
How long have you known this captain of yours?
Oh, me and the captain go way back. Um, so Cyrus Vance on the character sheet it says she her. Is that? But I see on the thing it says he him. So is Cyrus a male? I assume.
Oh, I think that's the player name. I didn't fill it out.
Oh, okay. All right, perfect. I saw Vance and looked straight down. All right. Yeah, the second he got into the smuggling business, I was his first call, and rightly so. You need somebody to fly your ship after all. He's good at giving orders, but he can't really fly that well. Don't tell him I said that.
I know the type.
I get the feeling that you definitely do.
So I have not spent any time on Nightport. Anything in particular I should look out for?
I mean, you know those you might not have spent time there, but you probably know the types that go to places like that.
Yeah, or get picked up from places like that anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point. Me, I just hit the bars, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So if you're a drinker, then I'm sure we can have some fun carousing about.
Yeah,
I don't know if the lady drinks, but
occasionally, but I think anything we can dig up in Nightport is probably not quite up to her bar.
yeah, that's a good point. How long have you been stuck with the lady? Not stuck, but in her
I
service.
mean, yeah, I or she I was in involuntary service to the Empire for a while, and she wrangled me out. So
Oh yeah, talk about
almost a
owing
decade
somebody.
ago. Yeah,
Jeez. What are you gonna do when we get her where she's going? Are you sticking with her?
yeah, yeah. I don't trust what's his name. I don't trust Uriah as far as I can throw him. I can throw him pretty far, but
I was gonna say.
yeah, still.
Well, yeah, I've only heard stories. I don't never even seen the guy. You know what I mean? Like seen
I've
the
heard
posters.
stories.
Seen the posters.
She cannot shut up about that guy.
That is never a good sign, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get there pretty soon at the very least. Whether that's a good or bad thing, I guess remains to be seen.
We'll find out.
I am only looking forward to it for the drinks.
I'll see you there.
Perfect.
Okay, that sounds like a resolved refreshment scene. So go ahead and refresh your dice pools. Snargle, which secret had you used? You'd used the secret of the lucky break.
Oh, I didn't end up using it, but that was the one I was asking about. Yeah.
Ah, all right. So then, yeah, no conditions in play yet. So both of you go ahead and refresh your dice pools. Captain Vance, would you like any refreshment with either Naomi Snargle or Lady Blackbird?
Yeah, I think the captain's gonna go for a refreshment scene with the lady Blackbird.
All right. Well, set the scene. Where do you find her?
I guess in like the cabin, the like rooms, I guess.
Your cabin. Okay.
He's gonna like knock if the door's closed.
Yes, who is it?
It's the captain.
And after just a second the door opens, Lady Blackbird is there. She's looking quite bright-eyed, a little bit flushed. Oh, Captain, I Well, I was quite caught up with the excitement of visiting Nightport, but I suppose I have some apologies to make first. Won't you come in?
Yeah, and Captain Vance strides in, looks about a bit.
Um, there's uh there's a bed and there's one little chair at a vanity table. Um, Lady Blackbird, goes, sits on the bed and gestures to you for the chair.
Yeah, he sits and back straight, hands folded in his lap. I will continue my promise to get you where you're going safely. That is on my honor as a captain. But I suppose is this going to be causing more problems for my crew and my ship? Is there anything else that I should know beyond what we've learned?
She kind of looks down at her hands, looks a little bit embarrassed, and says, "No, what Captain Hollis said is half true. Yes, I am Natasha Siri, but I mean, as you well know, I have not been kidnapped. I did not have my mother and father's permission to leave Elysium, but I also left on my own free will, and I am a free citizen of the Empire. So there is, as far as legal matters go, there are none to be had there. However, yes, this I I thought I had everything in place to not cause this kind of complication for yourself or your crew. But
Well,
I didn't get us caught.
I apologize for that, my lady. I will do my best not to put you in further danger.
Oh, everyone could use a little danger now and then, couldn't they?
Some of us have had a bit more danger in our lives than
Really?
perhaps one should.
That sounds thrilling. Do tell.
And Captain Vance is really like warring with themselves of like, do I tell this like noblewoman tawdry stories of my life? And says, well, I suppose you'll hear about it on Nightport.
I'll hear about your stories of danger on Nightport.
That is where I got my start as a smuggler and soldier of fortune.
Oh.
But again, that is not for ladies or you know what?
Captain Vance, I am not some delicate wallflower that my mother and father would like me to be. Yes, I am of imperial noble blood, but please, I can handle a little excitement. I do not wish to be treated any different from the rest of your crew, except in as much as that I am your employer.
Very well. And Captain Vance stands and wars with himself to like do like a like bow kind of. So just a nod and turns to leave.
And please, Captain, this is not the Empire. We do not need any formalities. Please, my name is Natasha.
Very well. Natasha. And Luce.
All right. Go ahead and refresh your dice pool. Did anyone hit keys during those refreshment scenes? If you did, go ahead and take your XP. I don't think strictly by the rules you're supposed to hit keys there, but I think you should. So. So everyone go ahead and do that. And unless there's any more conversations to be had with different crew, then it sounds like we're going to Nightport. All right. Nightport does not have an air patrol around it. The ships come and go as they please. That's the whole point. You are not questioned by your traffic control for for your registration. You are not questioned or sent through customs or anything. It simply doesn't exist here. You're directed to a specific landing pad, and once you leave the ship, what's the first smell everyone notices on this very busy semi-industrial dock full of other ships and cargo containers and people and crates, and it's crowded? Yeah. Well, actually, I'm gonna rephrase that. Snargle, what's the first thing you smell?
I think stepping off the owl with his he's got like a little hooked nose, and he tilts his head up in the air a little bit, and he, over all this industrial stuff, because he's super used to stuff like that, I think he can smell just sweat from all these people working everywhere.
All right. Naomi, what's the first thing that you notice, that you see once you get off the ship?
I think I noticed that despite the rumors, I think the majority of the people that are just kind of like passing through, walking by, coming on and off ships are like, I'm sizing them up, and most of them are way like less physically dangerous than I would have expected. Like, kind of like hear stories about them. Everyone's a rough customer and you gotta watch it back, but look, I don't think I'm pretty sure I could take pretty much anyone here on the stock.
So they're way less physically dangerous looking than you would assume.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sure they have other resources.
Well, you can never judge a book by its cover. And Captain Vance, what's the first memory that comes flooding back as you step off the ship into the sights and sounds and smells of Nightport again?
I think he's gonna remember like that first week that they were here, and not being able to afford like room and board, and like sleeping under like the docks of the ships or whatever, space docks, I guess. So yeah, they're remembering, the cold, hungry, how to survive sort of place.
All right. So as you step off the ship again, you're not being scanned for anything, you're not being questioned, no one cares that you're there. But you don't make it, 50 feet down down the docks, getting close to the entrance of this city made of cargo containers, before a small child comes limping up to you, and she she looks up at you, Captain Vance, and says, "Oh, please, mister, you have any credits? Just one or two. I just really need a snack, mister."
I think Captain Vance is gonna ignore the girl and immediately start looking around for like other children that are actually the like doers of the scam.
All right. This is going to be a roll to see if you notice anything out of the ordinary, and because it's very crowded, because you haven't been here in a long time and don't know this child, and because of other reasons that you don't need to know at this time, this is going to be a difficulty 5.
Okay.
So this is going to be an extremely challenging task to notice anything amiss with this little girl.
Yeah.
And I will also add a role being called for, and me telling you what the challenge rating is, what's required here. Again, just like we did in public access, you don't have to go through with a roll if you don't want to. You can always rewind. So yeah.
Yeah, because I really don't see traits that really go for it.
Mm-hmm. So I would allow you to use to call on things like deception, hide, and camouflage, because even though you are not the one actively doing any of those things, your
Like I'm familiar
ability
with
with
those.
them means that you kind of know what you're looking for, or that you have a
Okay.
better idea of what you're looking for. So you could go that track if you wanted.
Yeah, I'll take your advice on that. So that would be smuggler, sneak,
Smuggler,
hide, and camouflage.
I'm going to say deception, hide, and camouflage.
Okay.
There's no one is sneaking here, but some people might be hiding. At least you think they are. So that's 5d6 as the baseline for your roll, and it is a difficulty 5.
I'm gonna add 3 for my dice pool.
All right, so a total of
8.
8d6. Roll them up. Oh God, 1, 2, 3
Just
successes.
3 successes.
Let me just recheck one thing real quick here to remind myself about. So again, because you did not pass the roll, you get to keep your pool dice and also add another die to your pool. However, there will be an escalation. So the girl starts, like kind of moving, trying to, stand up to as tall as she can, with limping on one leg, to kind of look in your way as you're shuffling around. You're like, hey, mister, I'm talking to you. Hey, what's wrong? You just gonna act like I'm not here? You some kind of big man too important to just help a hungry kid? she's starting to get loud.
So are credits like actual physical money?
Yeah, they're little, like, little metallic plastic chits. Again, like, if you've seen any of the Star Wars films or shows, it's that, just little chits, like a poker chip.
Yeah,
Hmm.
if Cyrus keeps walking, Snargle will like flick a coin up towards the kid as he walks by, following the captain.
She very deftly catches your coin, but she kind of keeps bothering Cyrus. See, he's not too good to give me some creds.
Yeah, I think that got Vance's attention, and they're gonna give as many as he has. Like I don't know, how many is a lot? Like 20?
20's a decent amount. So it's a lot for a kid,
It's a lot for a kid.
It's like handing a kid a $20 bill.
basically. Yeah.
There,
She,
get out of my face.
she takes the chit eagerly and goes, whoa, wait a minute. 20? What are you trying to pull? I don't want to get in trouble or think like I owe you anything.
The only thing you owe is please just leave my crew be. Go buy yourself a meal. And tries to keep walking.
All right, mister. I'll buy myself a meal. I hear the best place in town is the last round. You should go the last round. And she she limps off, I guess, as you're walking off.
Vance is gonna,
Nice handling that, Captain. You did a great job.
you never know who to trust in this place. I'm not really handling myself too good today.
We already lost money since we've been here, Captain.
Lady Blackbird kind of comes up to Captain Vance's side and just says, that was a shocking display, Captain. Being, do you not like children?
No, I never wanted any. No, I mean, you never know, like these children around here travel in like packs, scamming and, thieving. So I was just trying to keep awares because right now we don't have a lot, but I also didn't want to look like a jerk when she started yelling. So
Children
I could,
running thieving rings. She just looks at Naomi. Is this normal?
Right, so.
Ghastly. Absolutely
Mhm.
ghastly.
yep, it starts young here in Nightport.
I'm not saying that the Imperium has its problems, to be sure, but at least no one's raising children to be roaming packs of thieves.
They're
Well,
just raising them to be fighters for their own entertainment.
Natasha, sobers up a little bit at that and says, well, there's more than one reason why I left. And then
we helped the
goes,
kid. All right, we're good. Maybe we should I don't know, the last round sounds kind of good to me. I don't know what my lady, what are you feeling? Are you feeling like visiting the last round?
I assume this is some kind of restaurant. Have you been there before?
Yes, I definitely have.
It's
Well,
one of
then
the few restaurants that haven't been kicked out of.
Yeah, that was the next thing I was going to bring up, Captain. Is this one of the places you've you haven't visited, or have you been here before? You've told me so many of these names that I get them all mixed up in my head.
No, I don't believe that is one that I've been kicked out of. So, unless it's under new management, or something, heard reputation, but let's go.
Captain Vance, how long has it been since you were last here? How many years?
Like 5 years.
All right.
I don't know how
So
old they're supposed to be, but 5 sounds right.
Captain Vance is however old you think he is.
All
How
right.
how old is he?
72. No, I don't know, like 43.
Perfect. All right. So yeah, you know where the last round is. At least Snargle very much does, is able to lead you there without incident. It's what passes for upscale on Nightport. It is the upscale dive bar where all the freelancers congregate, where you can find legitimate pilots and transporters and mercenaries. You know, the smuggling bounty hunter criminal scum drink elsewhere. This is this is for freelancers, not criminals. But nonetheless, it is not much more upscale than the rest of Nightport. It is like almost everywhere else, a collection of cargo containers that have been welded together and repurposed as a building. You know, it's got a wonderful neon sign outside. Lady Blackbird is quite taken with it because there's nothing so garish and tacky as neon signs in the heart of the Imperium. And there is a slender middle-aged human man, kind of with thinning orange hair, standing behind the bar. He is not the same bartender who was here last time you were here, Captain Vance. And he nods at the group as you come in and says, "Any table you like, friends?"
Vance is definitely going to lead everyone to like one of those round tables in the corner, sort of scope out the scene from the back.
Lady
I'll
Black,
make sure the lady sits in the corner.
yeah. And she's got her hood up, you know, as far as it will go, and just leans forward across the table and whispers, "Captain,
Yes.
how does one case a joint?"
Well,
That is what we're doing, right? To find a lead on Uriah.
Yeah, we're gonna look for someone who looks like they know something. Casing the joint makes it sound like we're gonna like rob this place. We're not gonna rob this place.
Oh, is that
Unless
what
we
that
need-
means?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
don't know.
Casing the joint means we want to rob it.
I believe is that I think that's right.
Mhm.
This is Rue saying this. Like, am I
Oh.
right?
That is definitely what it
Yeah,
That
means.
is
yes,
right,
you are.
yeah.
Yes, that
Okay.
is what casing a joint is. It's
I doubt my brain sometimes. Yeah, no, please do not say we're gonna case this joint out loud. No, we're looking to maybe get some information from someone, and we're looking for the type to know something.
and you know, she glances back and forth between you and Naomi. What do types who know something look like? How can you tell? She's genuinely curious.
Yeah, and right when she says, "How can you tell?" Snarl comes back with an armful of drinks, and he drops them on the table. A big one for Naomi, Captain Vance's favorite, and then something a little lighter for Lady Blackbird. And he's like, "Sometimes you can just tell, somebody's got that look about him."
Right.
So
That
we're
look.
looking for someone with the look, and he like winks at her.
She gives you from under her hood the worst practiced big wink ever.
Naomi's teaching you right, it looks like.
That gets again a bit of a more sober smile and a glance over, and Natasha replies, "Yeah, Naomi's taught me a lot of things." And you've come to notice during your travels together, even before learning her true identity, that there's a shift between how she is with you and Captain Vance and everyone else, and this letting of the guard down when the subject turns to Naomi Bishop. But as you're scoping out the joint and not casing it, the bartender comes over. "So, friends, how are you liking the drinks?"
Fine.
Compliments to the bartender.
He started to look a little bit crestfallen when Naomi just said it's fine, and then brightened up a bit at Captain Vance's compliments to the bartender, and he says, "Well, that's me. I'm the bartender."
Well, then you have my compliments.
Thank you. Thanks, sir. I've been practicing. Can I get you folks anything else? Anything to eat? Or I mean, it's fun if all you want to do is drink. That's fine too. Everyone's welcome to enjoy themselves here at the last round.
Why is it called the last round?
It's a bit of a word play. See where you have the last round before y'all go home for the night. The last round in the chamber, when you're done, you with your business out in the wild blue, you come here and have a drink and relax and unwind. Then when you've had your last round of the night, you go home.
Are you new proprietor of this establishment? I don't recognize you from.
I'm Thompson. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure we haven't met before. I know all my regulars.
We're not regulars.
That would explain it. No, yeah, I've been working here. Well, I've been here a little over 5 years now. And, no finer establishment in the sector.
And
Anyway,
then drink slams on the table, and he's like, "I'll take another one, please." It looks like just I'm done. I don't know if any of you guys finished yours.
Oh yeah,
yet.
I'm definitely finished. Yep. Keep up with
Yeah.
Snargle.
Then another one for the. What form are you in right now, Snargle? Snargle can, of course, can shape change into into human, elf, halfling, male appearance, female appearance. How do you look
As
right now?
long as long as the place is inclusive, usually he stays in his normal. So he's like, 4'8", green dude with, he's got kind of sharp pointy ears. They're not super long though, but he's got the classic like witchy looking hooked nose.
Right. All right. So yeah, Thompson, nods enthusiastically and goes, right, another round for another drink for the gentleman, another for the lady. He goes to take Naomi's glass. I hope you folks have a nice stay.
Did he walk off, or is he still just? Did he just say that?
I mean, if there is any kind of conversation you wish to make with him, you can assume that he's just taking his sweet time to gather the glasses, maybe wipe the table under each glass to get the condensation away.
Yeah, I think Vance is gonna dismiss him with like a thank you.
All right. He walks off with the empty glasses.
Don't worry,
Uh,
Captain. He'll be back in just a minute with the drinks.
Good. I was getting worried that he just stole our glasses. Vance is gonna turn to Naomi and as we've known each other these time we've been traveling, did you get a sense from him? Do you get a sense on anyone here that seems like the kind of guy we're looking for?
I don't know if he's the kind of guy we're looking for, but he's certainly some kind of guy. Seemed very eager.
Too eager?
Can you pay for these drinks? Or did you give the last of your money to that kid?
I think I think Vance is gonna look at Snargle and be like, how much money do we have?
Oh, please, this round's on me. I've always wanted to say that.
You heard the lady.
And Captain Vance, was it that you said that Thompson is sure someone that you're someone that you're looking for?
I'm sorry, can you repeat yourself?
That little exchange that, oh yeah, Thompson is someone, all right, but is he the kind of someone we're looking for?
Like someone to get like information from, like especially asking after Uriah.
So as you say, well, he sure is someone, all right. Kind of from behind where you're seated, this old elf lady, leans her head back over her shoulder and just says, yeah, Thompson's a someone, all right. And she looks over. What kind of someones are you if you don't know Thompson, huh? She's grinning at you. She is she's old even for an elf. She's got shiny white hair that's braided all the top of her head, and woven into it are ribbons that have little trinkets stitched onto them. Like, you can make out some little mechanical bits and bobs, what looks like ammo casing and empty shells, all these little things. She goes, with a little glint in her eye. So what kind of someones are you?
Who's asking?
Captain Zenith. Nice to meet you. I hope, maybe. Who's telling?
Fellow captain.
Fellow, that's a unique name, Captain Fellow.
We just arrived in Nightport.
You don't say.
Have you been here long?
Oh, I mean, in terms of how long my current shore leave has been? No, not long. In terms of how long I've been flying the Wild Blue, well, longer than you, son.
Is the elf at the table by themselves?
She's all by herself. She's got a huge beer mug. She's got a half-eaten plate of food that she's been working on, clearly enjoying. And yeah, she is by herself.
So as a general out of characters thing, so are we trying to get information right now, or are we trying to like find a work for money right now?
I was thinking information.
Yeah.
So I will say, kind of to help push things along as the GM, if you're looking for information, you gotta ask some of these people for it. They're not just gonna come and start. No one's gonna just start running their mouths off about Uriah Flint. A, because they have no idea you're looking for him in particular. They don't know what you want. And B, he's not really someone. He's someone a lot of people are scared of. They're not just gonna randomly start talking about Uriah Flint.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Are we just looking for like a last scene kind of deal? Like, is that what you're thinking, Rue? Or
Yeah, just like if anyone's seen him around here. And I think this elf's a good person to ask. I didn't think Thompson was a good person to ask.
well, bartenders have info, he's just a nice
Appearances
guy.
can be-
He's just I maybe it's just that my public access brain, but smiley people.
Everybody is trying to kill me.
Uh,
Everybody's got it out for me.
I will say two things. One, this is more Moss Isley than Deep Lake. And two, appearances can be deceiving. Nevertheless, Zenith is right here. She struck up a conversation and just takes a big pull from her mug and goes, "So how long have you been in Nightport, Captain Fellow?"
Oh, well, we just docked, but we're looking for information if you know someone who's looking to trade or sell secrets.
Is that big that you got to go straight to a broker, huh? I mean, I can point you to a broker.
Yeah, I mean, if you would do me the honor, if assisting me.
Do you the honor? Oh, where are you fresh in from, kid? You from Olympia or something?
I had a stint there. Can't quite shake it off.
Yeah, it has that effect on people. Out of character, Olympia is the main shipyard staging world of the Imperial fleet.
Yeah, it bristles a little bit at the name.
It just laughs and says, "Okay, No offense, you seem kind of green, but then again, everyone's more green than me. If it's an information broker you need, if it's that serious, head on down to Garrel over at the exchange. He might know more. Just don't tell him Zenith sent you. I owe him $5.
I appreciate that.
All right, kid. Well, look, whatever trouble you got yourself in so hard that it needs a broker in Nightport to find it so you can fix it. Good luck. Okay. You seem all right. I hope I see you around some more. Try not to die out there.
Haven't died yet.
Oh, you. I like you.
Enjoy
Good
your
one,
journey.
Captain.
Thank you.
And she returns to her meal.
I know you just said it, but what was the name that you just said?
Garrel down at the
Garrel.
exchange.
Got it. Yeah, so Vance is going to turn to everyone else at the table and be like, well, I guess we have a lead on info.
Let's chase it
Ah,
down.
the exchange.
The exchange, Cyrus and Snargle know, is a sort of indoor-outdoor market. You know, again, like most of the rest of the city, stalls, cargo containers make up the buildings. It's a crowded market, effectively, with many stalls.
Let's go ask around for Garrel. And he kind of stands up, and as everybody's walking out, he still finishes his last bit of his drink before he puts it down.
And Thompson, did you bring it back to the bar or leave it on a table?
You know what? As everybody's kind of getting up to walk out, he'll like gather the drinks off the table and take them to the bar.
Thompson looks mildly concerned as you put the glasses down on the bar and just says, you gotta, it's okay. I got it. Thank you.
Are you all right?
Yeah, just you never know what can happen if you clean the tables. See you later.
Am I okay? Am I like picking up something from this dude? Like, is he speaking to me in like a code, or is he hinting at something to me that I'm not as myself understanding?
Are you asking that
I'm
as
asking
Snargle
Ellie.
or- Okay.
I'm asking Ellie. Because like I'm happy as Snargle to be like, what do you mean when you clean the tables? Like, what do you mean by that?
Oh yeah, there is definitely, his behavior is odd in that sense. You're definitely picking up on some kind of double entendre, double speak.
Oh yeah, so if I kind of pick up on something, he'll say like, you never know what happens when you clean the tables. And Snargle will kind of like do a little hop up onto the bar stool, right? And be like kind of crouched on it a little bit. And to everybody else, he's kind of looking like he's handing over the drinks, like helping him. And he's like, what are you talking about, dude?
He glances around and leans in and whispers, uh, you travel, right? You ship out a lot.
Yeah, I make my way around the blue.
All right. You ever met this, wow, I guess she'd probably be in her 50s now. This lady named Sophie Carson.
Does that name ring a bell to Snargle?
You tell me.
I most that happened is I heard the name.
You heard the name? So, wait, where? What world?
I'd have to really check logs, but I think it was closer to Elysium than here.
That's really far away.
You're damn right it is.
Well, shoot. Maybe she's not coming back. Look, look, how old is Snargle? How old does he look?
I'm going to assume goblins don't live as long as normal people, but so he's about middle age for a goblin, but he looks pretty weathered.
All right. You know, Thompson just leans in and goes, look, you seem you seem okay. I don't really work here. I used to be a regular. One day I brought my, I brought my empties back to the bar, and one of these guys I was walking past, he waved me down to come take his glass too. And then he ordered a plate of fries. He thought I worked here. And I went out, I realized that hadn't seen anyone for a while. So, helping out or at the bar. So I went into the kitchen to haul around for Sophie, and she wasn't there. And the cook wasn't there. And well, I've just kind of been keeping the place going ever since. I don't, I keep keeping the books, and I'm not a thief. I just take what tips come in, and well, I just run a place kind of sort of now. Anyways, it's not really official.
So you never got hired? You just started working here?
I mean, someone had to keep the place running. This is an important institution.
I agree with that part.
Well, gosh, if you ever run into to Sophie, tell her Thompson said hi.
Yeah. Should I tell her this is her place?
This is her place.
So
I know, I
I'll
guess
tell
you
her
just
that
wanted to
Thompson
keep-
said to fucking come back here and help with the place she left. You want me to do that? I could do that for you.
Sure.
I'll tell her to get her ass back home and not stick friends with a business. So you just run this place?
Yeah, guess so. Someone's gotta.
Yeah, well, I don't even think noble is the right word.
Look,
I don't know the right word.
man, everyone's got secrets on Nightport, okay? No one who's kind of newer in the past few years knows that I don't actually own the place. If they knew, they might try to the hostile takeover. So just keep it under your hat, okay? I mean, I you're not wearing a hat, but just don't tell anyone.
Oh, yeah, I won't say anything. But I mean, I think that you might you might own the place if it's been a few years. So you could probably make a case for that, just so you know.
Yeah, probably just I don't want any trouble.
Yeah, well, it just I mean, if you're gonna run the place, just like take people's drinks and then leave their table next time. Don't just like kind of hang around all weird like you did. That's what'll get you in trouble. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, I'll keep tending bar and you do whatever it is you're doing and remember, not a word.
Not a word. My lips are sealed. And then he'll like slide him a little tip. Basically what's left of the pocket change that he had.
All right. So unless there's anything else, it's off to the exchange. So the exchange, as mentioned, is a crowded indoor-outdoor market with buildings and outdoor stalls that are made out of whole or partial shipping containers, old ships' cabins, whatever scavenged together that came to Nightport and never left it. It's a market that kind of looks more like a really big scrapyard with vendor stalls in it. It's noisy, it's crowded. Most of the people you're going shoulder to shoulder with through the crowd are either glaring at you, sizing you up, or avoiding looking you in the eye altogether. But there are vendors everywhere, and they are very definitely trying to get people's attention, shouting out what they're selling, that it's a great deal, that it's better than that guy. Don't go to that guy. You need more engine parts, you come to me, kind of thing.
Okay, Captain. So we're looking for Garrel.
Carol.
I'm sure that'll be really easy.
You never know
Well,
until you ask.
Hmm. I guess who's someone that's like not shouting out is there anyone that isn't shouting for like vying for our attention?
Yeah, there's a woman who's kind of got her feet up on her table. The table itself, has a little blanket, and it's covered in, what's the word I'm looking for here? Hardware, things like assorted sizes of nuts and bolts, washers, all that kind of little stuff you need to keep repairing, keep maintaining, that gets rusted out and needs replaced. And she's there.
Consumables.
What's that?
Consumables.
Consumables. Yeah, she's got her feet up on the table, one arm behind her head, having a smoke with the other.
So Captain Man's definitely going to do that thing where you like go to someone's table and they're like really looking around. Uh Hello. Nice wares you have here.
She pauses smoking, just looks at you, doesn't turn her head, just turns her eyes, says, yeah, I mean, it's hardware. What do you need? You know, washers, rivets, a quarter, 3/8. What do you need?
I apologize for wasting your time, but we're looking for someone named Garrel.
Oh, so you're coming to my stall and you don't want to buy anything, but you want me to give you something.
Well, I wanted to see if you had something to give before I buy.
She just gestures at the table of goods. You
Yeah,
make
just go for it.
I mean, if you're not looking to buy, maybe we can make a trade. What you got?
Do you have any work that needs doing? My crew here has a variety of skills, depending on what you need.
Ah. Huh. Yeah. You know, I got some work that needs doing. She reaches under the table, pulls up a toolbox, puts it down on the table, and says, I need you to bring this to Artemis down at the down at the den. I've been stuck here at the table all day, all yesterday, and I got no one to watch my stuff. If you leave stuff alone here for 2 seconds, it's gone.
What if we stay here and watch your stuff?
Yeah, you don't look, no offense, lady, you don't really seem like the entrepreneurial types. This is, you want information and you're not paying for it with credits. Make a delivery and we've got a trade. Artemis, down at the den, far north end of the market.
Vance is going to look to the others and sort of shrug, like, I guess this is what we're doing.
Oh yeah, Snargle's like,
Get
got
me
to
that
spend
part.
money?
All right. We'll get this delivered.
I'll wait to hear back it's delivered then.
Yeah. So off we go.
Off you go. And
Great job, Captain.
Thank you.
Lady Blackbird, kind of leans over to sort of, take Captain Vance's arm, wending through the very tight crowd and just goes, is this a drop? Are we making a drop?
I actually, I can't answer the affirmative because I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, well, at the very least, we've just made a thrilling bargain with, I think that woman's a bit of a scoundrel.
Everyone here is a scoundrel.
Surely not that nice fellow back at the bar, or that nice old lady.
There's different levels of scoundrel.
Different flavors.
It's a sliding scale.
Okay. That I understand. There's there's sliding scales of noble as well. Right. Well, you make your way across the market without trouble unless you're looking for it. And again, another neon sign over a repurposed shipping crate that simply says the Den. Now, question before you go inside. Did you look in the toolbox? Did any of you look in the toolbox?
No.
That is above my pay grade.
Nope.
All right. So, yeah, the Den is a clothing outfitter. There's there's jackets and flight suits and things like that, on shelves and hanging on the wall, just filling all possible available space. And behind behind that counter is a halfling man with spiked bright green dyed hair, wearing a modest three-piece suit. It's old, it's kind of shabby, but it's obviously been well cared for. But it kind of stands out that all of his accessories are really fancy and new, like a shiny silk scarf around his neck, an equally nice pocket square, a gold watch, that kind of thing. And he takes his feet off the swings his feet off the counter as you come in and says, "Welcome to the Den. What are you in the market for?"
Oh, we're making a delivery.
Oh, from who?
Well, it's for Artemis. Holds up the toolbox.
Ah, his eyes light up. He leans over to take it. He, checks the latches and nods approvingly and says, "All right."
We're gonna need a receipt for that.
Oh, you'll get one. You'll get one. And he does, in fact, handwrite a receipt, with a little note on it. The note just says, "Clean delivery," and it's signed and dated. All right, there you go. And best of luck to you.
No tip.
Sorry.
No tip.
Don't worry. The lady will pay you well.
A bit ominous.
Trust me. We don't see a lot of clean deliveries. She'll pay you well. Now go on. Get.
On the way out the front door, Snargle says, "Nice job, Captain."
Thank you.
Yes,
Really
that was
boosts morale around here.
yes,
Great
that
job.
was very dashing.
Yep, I really said a lot during that exchange.
Captain, with your charisma, you don't even need to speak.
Another one of your quips, Snargle.
Well, I mean, being charismatic and the strong silent type are not mutually exclusive, Captain Flint is extremely eloquent.
I've only heard stories.
Most of them don't have to do with his way with words.
Well, that is a great disservice because, oh, you should see the sonnets he wrote me.
I really should, actually.
I'll oh, I'll show you when we get back to the ship. But yes, for now it seems we have a task at hand. Clean delivery. What do you suppose that means?
Look at it, steal it, tamper with it, swap it out with something else, cut it, alter it, wreck it.
Was it expected that we would?
I mean, look around this place.
Scoundrels, my lady, as said before.
Lady Blackbird just, remains silent for a moment. You you can see the wheels turning, that she's trying to process this new information as you presumably make your way back to this vendor.
Yeah, I don't think we stop anywhere else.
Nope. Though, yeah. So yeah, you make your way unaccosted back to the hardware store, and she is still there with her feet up on the table, smoking. Looks up at you expectantly.
Just slide the receipt back over to her. Clean delivery.
Her eyes go ever so slightly wide. She takes the receipt, looks at it a little bit closer, as if she's looking for something particular. And she nods and goes, "Clean delivery. Haven't seen one of those in in a few weeks. All right. What do you need to know?"
And so Captain Vance leans close. What do you know of Uriah Flint?
I'm assuming you're asking aside from the same things everyone else knows. What is it? What's it you really want to know?
Has he been seen around here? Location? That sort.
Is he with anyone else?
Yeah, he was here a couple weeks ago. He was here, just with his regular crew. And he was, that's funny you're looking for Uriah Flint, because he was looking for someone too. Anyways,
Who is he looking for?
he got a hot tip to go. He got a hot tip to go to Haven. Should still be there. Well, depending on whether he found what he's looking for or not.
Was he looking for a what or a who?
He asked a lot of extra questions. I thought he just wanted to know where he was.
We did a clean job, didn't we? Perhaps a bit of extra information?
Right. I'm gonna have you roll to see how well the request for extra information goes. So, assuming that this seems like a pleasant exchange, are you planning to keep turning on the charm?
If what I'm doing is charming, then yes.
Well, it's not
Nice
it's
job,
not
Captain.
hostile. On night court, anything that's not hostile counts as charming.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to threaten.
So then, what angle do you want to take here, looking at your traits, to convince this woman to go above and beyond and answer a second question?
I'm thinking about smuggler, but just saying like I know how like smugglers stuff works, so I'm trying to do the opposite. I don't know if that counts.
I mean,
like haggle, I think
yeah, I think haggle is
for sure
something like
works.
perfect.
Yeah.
And my plan is to give you a die from my dice pool for this as a help.
Okay. So
What are you haggling? Haggling involves, again, some kind of exchange, some kind of giving her a reason to give you something back. How are you trying to reduce the cost of this information?
I think Vance is gonna offer, like more clean deliveries. Like you got things that need done. Like we're legit.
I mean,
You
she was
think-
also understandably surprised that we had not messed with her stuff.
She leans forward and says, "You talking? If you're looking for Uriah Flint, I'm assuming you're not planning to stay around here for very long, since I just told you his next port of call was Haven. You talking about moving some cargo for me?"
I have a cargo ship. If you got cargo,
I got cargo. I'm not going to make you roll for this. I like where this is going.
My version of help die is going to say, and she's got the best damn pilot in the blue.
He has the best damn pilot.
Sorry.
All right. I got cargo, you got a ship. It's a date, hotshot, and she winks at Snargle as well. All right.
So what was he looking for, or who?
Yeah. Word on the street, and I cannot substantiate this. He's looking for a little romantic R&R.
Did he say who with?
He just said he was looking for his girl. That's all I know.
I guess he's the settling down type, huh?
I'm sorry. No. I mean, it would be one hell of a girl if he was talking about settling down, unless you're talking about settling down in the Remnant. Come on, everyone knows that's his end game.
I think
how does the lady react if I glance at her when she
Yeah.
hears?
That's what I was going to ask as well.
She immediately starts trying to pepper the vendor with more questions, but the woman stays firm that, like, hey, I've told you everything I know. Pick up the cargo down at Dog 12. Don't be late. But Lady Blackbird is clearly excited, bordering on agitation. Do you think, Naomi, all these months I got letters, and it seemed like I would have to come to him, but now it sounds like he's trying to come to me.
Did he know? Did he tell you to meet him on Haven?
No.
Did he think that you would be there?
mean, I haven't heard from him since I wrote to him telling him we were leaving Elysium. As you recall, it was somewhat of a hasty exit. There was not exactly time to wait for a reply, and we've been in so many ports since then.
So we're going to Haven. I just don't want you to get your hopes up.
It's a little late for that, don't you think?
No. There's always time to lower your expectations. Kind of like look over at Vance.
Natasha seems a little confused at what you mean by that, but just says, well, who else could he be looking for?
Any number of people.
This is cruel. You don't know him like I do. Just why dash my hopes like that?
Not trying to dash them, just keep an open mind about what we're going to find there.
Yes, of course.
I just want to protect you from falling too hard. He could be talking about a ship for all we know.
She looks very alarmed at that. Oh, but if he's looking for a ship, that could be the owl.
It could be.
Well, she looks at Cat and Vance. What are we waiting for?
Yeah, I feel like Lady and Naomi were having like a side discussion and Snargle and Vance were like, okay, like we need to go to the dock or whatever.
Go pick up the stuff, have
go pick up
a
the
Kale,
stuff.
load some stuff in there.
Yeah. All
And,
right, to the dock, everyone.
And
Nice job, Captain.
I'm going to hit my key for trying to protect her.
and just as you're leaving, turning to leave the vendor, the little girl with a limp, well, who had a limp at the docks, comes running up to the vendor's table at just a full clip, and then you just kind of pedals and stops you like cartoon style almost when she sees you there, and just says, turns to the vendor and says, hey, Garrel, these are my new friends. And Garrel nods and says, they're my new friends too, Suze. Smiles and winks. And with that, that is where we are going to leave things for tonight. We have gone a little bit long. I'm a little rusty and my pacing's not what it used to be, I'm afraid, but not too much long over.
Yeah.
So we are going to end it there. The crew of the Owl is on their way to Haven, with a hot tip that Uriah Flint has not only gone there, but has gone there looking for someone. You assume someone anyways, whoever she is. And you are also transporting cargo because you now you have entered into relationship of owing and trading favors with the most notorious information broker on Nightport. Congratulations. I'm sure this will be very exciting and in no way come back to haunt you in the future. I'm excited. So with that, do some stars and wishes. Go in character keeper order. I'm gonna skip over Lady Blackbird, so that means we're starting with Mark.
Yeah. Fun to get into the blue again. It's nice to see every time it's different. It's cool to see what's different this time and play around.
Yeah.
Naomi's really interesting to play because she's very reactive. I feel like I think yeah, it's fun doing stuff with her, and I think the wish would be like for more troubles to protect Lady Blackbird from. But yeah, and everyone's characters is super fun to watch, and I'm looking forward to seeing more.
All right. Rue, stars and wishes.
I did not write down any stars because I just didn't think of it. But everyone was great. Ellie, great job. I know you were worried about being very rusty, but I thought it was great. And yeah, everyone's character was fun. Naomi, that stern talk at the end of just like, hey girl, do you know what you're getting into? And then for Snargle, always saying, great work, Captain. I need that in my real life. Just someone saying, good job.
Great job, Rue.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, everyone. Stars, I'm excited to see where this goes and figure out more ways to use these traits and roll for stuff. Yep.
And then Billy.
Yeah, echoing what everybody else said. I will say I did mark a key of banter. I think I could have caught it at a couple different spots, but I just marked it there at the end.
Yeah.
I don't really know how it works, but anyway, yeah, I think Rue, you did a great job. I feel like I can have I have an excuse to kind of just shut up because you're stuck being the captain, so I'm just like in the background, but that puts you on the spot a lot, and I think you did a really good job.
Thank you.
Mark with Naomi, that was the scene in the jail cell, the very first scene, the fight scene was super cool. And I of course, as Rue said, I will echo, I really liked the now listen, I don't know what he's looking for. It could be nothing. Just
Girl.
so you know. Yeah, just let's hold on till we get there. And yeah, Ellie, that was so much fun. I came in here thinking it was more like planet steampunky, right? I didn't even know that this was like a Star Wars bit.
Oh.
So that was completely surprising. But that made me love it a lot more because I am a fan of the old Star Wars movies. And I think you did a great job. It was super fun. And I really enjoyed I still enjoyed the pacing, and the characters felt really cool to interact with. I really liked interacting with the bartender because he's just like a dweeb or something. So I look forward to hopefully running into the owner of that place so I can give her a piece of my mind, leaving that guy there for nothing. And yeah, that's my wish actually, is to run into that woman at some point. And she'd be like, hey, you left my boy back there working all by himself? You gotta watch out for your friends.
All right. So, wow, yeah. Yeah, stars to the gang for helping me get back into the swing of things. GMing, it's been, I think the last time I ran a game was January. So it's been a hot minute. Yeah, so thanks for calling out mechanical things I was missing. That's always a huge help. Star to Billy for the rat. That was absolutely wild. Plus I'm really enjoying the constant being Captain Vance's hype man. I'm also loving Naomi being Captain Vance's hype man. I think that's a huge group dynamic, Star, that the general consensus seems to have organically become, no, girl, forget Captain Flint. We are gonna hype Cyrus and be
This
his.
guy is clearly into you.
That's fantastic. I'm super excited to see where that goes. I'm gonna dogpile on the stars for Rue, because, you know, again, you took on the role of a character who has to do a lot of bus driving in this game. I mean, it's part of the reason I think this game is so unique is because there are main character and supporting character PCs. That's super unusual. And you took a main character there. So yeah, you did awesome. My wish for next time is ask more questions in character or out of character as needed for story stuff, or latching on to hooks, because while I am enjoying the challenge of playing the title character while also running the game, it is a bit of a challenge, and I also don't want to feel like I'm driving you guys too hard in a particular direction, unless of course that's something you want out of this particular game, which is fine by me. Yeah, wishes, ask more questions, you know, bite those hooks a little bit harder, and that will help me know where you guys want the story to go. But until then, I know, anyone have anything else?
No, good time.
Good time. All right. Goodbye, internet. We will
Yeah.
see you next time in the wild blue of Haven.
Next time.